Hello everyone, I'm Siddharth Sharma. I'm currently doing my master's in data analytics from National College of Ireland, and this presentation is intended to present my research proposal. And the topic for my proposal is modeling the adverse effects of pollutants in water quality using deep learning method. Now, the main motivation behind taking this topic is that water pollution is a really major concern throughout the world, and it's increasing day by day. Humans are being really careless, and they need to be careful about this because if the water is getting contaminated, we are drinking it, we are using it for bathing, we are using it in all our daily chores, and this will lead to diseases and the degradation of health of humans as well as the animals surrounding them. Now, with the increase of population, there are some serious problems such as sewage and domestic waste that are directly thrown into the rivers, lakes, ponds, and sea, which are the natural resources of water where we collect the water and use it directly. And they are directly released into the ocean water, which destroys the marine biodiversity. Now, because of the hazardous materials such as uh, radioactive materials and harmful chemicals like sulfur, phosphorus, which are being released from the chemical factories and the manufacturing units and the steel industries, the coal mines, etc., they are directly uh, released into the rivers and the oceans. And a large chunk of fiber, plastics, they are being released, and this just proliferates the water pollution level. The most dangerous region is global warming, and it causes the temperature of the water to rise significantly because it has a negative effect on the aquatic animals as well as the plants, which leads to the degradation of the marine biodiversity. Now, more and more diseases are spreading, and people are dying due to unprecedented diseases born in the water bodies due to contamination. Now, as of now, Ireland's population is rising as new employment opportunities increasing because of the Brexit, and the cheap education is luring a lot of students as well. So, I'll be analyzing the water quality of Ireland's water resources. Now, the project background. So, in this research for prediction and assessment of Ireland's data, a novel approach using deep learning algorithm stacked autoencoder is being implemented. Data for water monitoring and assessment stations will be extracted from APIs and open source links provided by the Republic of Ireland. And we'll be using European Union standards for water quality index, which are given as follows. And we'll be calculating water quality index in our research too. Now comes the research question. My research question is, to what accuracy stacked autoencoder, a deep learning method, can predict the performance of water quality in Ireland when measured using root mean square error. Now, moving on to the methodology, I have devised four phases for the completion of this project. The first phase includes the collection of data. We'll extract the data from the APIs and the links we have been provided. Then in phase 2, data cleaning and data transformation will be done, where we'll be using tools such as R, Python, Excel to clean and transform the data. Then in the third phase, we'll implement the algorithms, that is the stacked autoencoder, and with the implementation of our proposed algorithm, we'll be moving towards the desired output. And for that, we'll have to go through the validation phase, that is phase 4, in which we'll be using root mean square error. Now the algorithms to be implemented in detail. Stacked autoencoder. Stacked autoencoder, it is an unsupervised machine learning technique. They come under the unsupervised neural network family. And it has various types, that is denoised stacked autoencoder. Then the second is sparse autoencoder. Neural networks use the principle of greedy layer-wise unsupervised training. Accuracy predicted by stacked autoencoder comes out to be the best among other neural network algorithms. There are three layers: hidden layer, the visible layer, and the reconstruction layer, which is often depicted as a hierarchical directed graph, which we will see in the next slide. Now, the multivariate statistical techniques will be used for finding the correlation between water quality index and the water pollutants in this research. For that, firstly, we'll use cluster analysis. It will be used for grouping different catchment areas because Ireland has a lot of rivers and the catchment area is really large, and we'll be using it for water quality monitoring and assessment. And all the areas will have divergent concentrations of parameters, so clusters are necessary because one parameter may be more in one area and maybe less in maybe having a less impact in the other due to industries and other uh, other housings and the due to industries in the surrounding areas. And then after that, principal component analysis is used for predictive analysis, and the dimensionality of the dataset with large number of variables is used with the help of principal component analysis. That data is transformed into principal components and the covariance matrix is formed. Now in this graph, we can see that it is a denoising autoencoder. Now it is an extension of the stacked autoencoder. Now during the unsupervised pre-training, one layer is done at a time, in which each layer is trained as a denoising autoencoder. Now reconstruction error is minimized over here, and once the pre-training is over, we move on to the second stage, that is fine-tuning, and this is done to minimize the prediction error. Now to achieve this, logistic regression layer is added to the network, and now we come to the project plan. Now in the project plan, as I discussed earlier, the first week data will be collected and it will be extracted from the APIs and the other links that have been provided by the Irish government. And in week 2, data will be cleaned using various tools such as R, Python, Excel, which will be followed by data transformation in the following weeks. And after that, the fifth week, implementation of the algorithm proposed, that is stacked autoencoder, will be initiated, and we'll be moving to the desired output, and we'll try our level best so that we can predict the accuracy to a good extent, which will be followed by validation, where root mean square error will be used. And after the implementation part is over, we'll be we'll be writing a rough draft which will be prepared and proofread, and in the week of 12th, and in the 12th week, the final report will be submitted for evaluation. And these are the references that have been used for the research. Thank you.